Amazing. We are back, and it's time for us to now have a look at the newspapers. That was a beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
By Bella Combo, saying that in order to live, you must die fast.
Beautiful.
And the whole song, that's why I told you, Gigi, you have the ability and the capability to be a musician. Because she has just repeated literally one word. Die so you may live. Die so you may live. So you can just, God can give you a word. And you give Hope Recording Studios to give life to your sound.
Okay.
And you just repeat for 9 minutes. You just, and it blesses people.
Amen.
Yeah. So it's not far-fetched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for
you
being
can do
used. Yeah. To encourage me. Yeah.
Anyway, it's time for the newspaper.
Such a co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot fail in life.
You can't.
No.
Yeah.
You can't. Si hata nilikwambia uandike kitabu. There are so many things I've spoken into your life.
You are speaking life. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being an encouragement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Let's look at what is being reported in the dailies this morning. I start with the Daily Nation.
Yeah.
They go with the headline, UDA bigwigs plot exodus. So game plan for 2027 elections, they say political realignments rock the ruling party. And so already under siege from a rebel faction ally to ousted Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, the woes of the governing United Democratic Alliance are set to worsen, with top former loyalists, including the Senate Majority Whip, joining the rebellion. The man tasked with whipping members to toe the line has declared the party dead. It's a story that is covered on pages 7, and some of the party members of UDA who apparently will be exiting the party. We have Boni Halwale, Senate Majority Whip, Gloria Oroba, ousted Senator Mohammed Ali, the Nyali MP. We have Joash Nyamoko, North Mugirango MP, Jane Kihara, Naivasha MP, and Ndende Nyoro, the Kiharu MP. And so you can read that story extensively covered on page number 7. Then I see here, free at last on death row in Saudi Arabia for over a decade, dreading a date with the executioner every day. The nightmare for Stephen Munyako finally ended yesterday when he was freed after dramatic negotiations with the family of a Yemeni citizen whose death following a feud led to his conviction. It took 150 million shillings blood money for his life to be spared. So he spent 14 is the number of years Stephen was imprisoned in Saudi Arabia, but now he is free at last, and he will be rejoining his family. It's a story that is covered on page number 3 inside the Nation. Then I see here there is a scandal, and audit says NTSA has no control over own portal. And so Auditor General's damning findings on the Transport Integrated Management System teams expose possible data breaches. It's a story that is covered on page number 18. Then 25,000 promoted teachers lament over elusive new higher salaries. So they have been promoted, but then again they are not enjoying the new higher salaries, the 25,000 teachers. It's a story that is on page number 8. And then a state slaps more protest suspects with terrorism charges. It's a story on page 4. It seems clearly that what is it called, the justice system is tone deaf on the cries of Kenyans, and of course even lawyers are up in arms over the same, saying that the same should not be used. The Terrorism Act should not be used to charge protesters because it's according to the lawyers. I was watching an interview and actually a statement by the LSK president, Faith Odhiambo, and she was saying that that was aimed, the state using terrorism as a charge on protesters is just aimed at, harassing protesters. Yet there are laws that should be used when it comes to charging those who have been arrested on protest charges. But this is my opinion, if there is any evidence that Gigi engaged in any terrorism acts, then that should be invoked. But then again, using it on protesters, very young people, because these are Gen Zs. If you actually, because I've tried to see all those who have been charged, arraigned, and you look at the age, they are between, they are between 17 to 27. Very young people, and then you use terrorism as a charge. But the good thing is that, as was it yesterday's, which paper, they were saying the judiciary now on the spot, because when now these people are arraigned in court, it's now the judiciary to make a call. But then again, the irony, should I say the irony of it, is that even the DPP, they were defending themselves against these accusations, because they are the people presenting this and okaying these charges, by actually quoting the Chief Justice. Because I remember when the Chief Justice visited my constituency and Kikuyu, and went to the Kikuyu law courts that had been torched, he actually said this is not a criminal offense. It actually amounts to terrorism. And so the DPP are taking a cue from the CJ. And so you see, it's being used. Her words are now being used as defense for the same. So it puts her in a very awkward position, because again, she's the head of this institution that is supposed to listen to all these cases. Yet she's the one who said these are these are acts of terrorism. And so so that puts her in a awkward position. But we hope that the law at the end of it all will carry the day.
Yeah, because I also believe that protesters have a law protecting them also.
Yes.
Why is nobody talking about that
law?
That also protects the people who are taking it to the streets to protest about the government, because even the government is not above the law.
No one is above the law.
So I believe we are missing the point.
Definitely.
Actually, we should be having conversations on what these protesters even protected in the first place.
Yes.
Or actually, has the government in itself become a threat
to the protesters?
With sending of goons and stuff like that. So I just pray that we'll have sobriety, because people are making decisions at the heat of anger and trying to get back at the people for actually doing what they ought to be doing. So we pray that there will be sobriety in
Finally, some sports news. High stakes in Kenya's team selection ahead of World Athletics Championships. The same will be happening. That is the trials at the Ulinzi Sports Ground. That's in as far as sports news is concerned. And Kenya Police Bullet tick all the boxes for Africa Cup. That is the women's team. And so you can read that also in the sports section. And boxer Daniel Wanyonyi dreams of world title after home victory. And some athletics news yesterday, of course, during the trials, Chepngetich Chebet sealed 10,000 meters tickets to the world championships. And so you can read that in the sports section.
Awesome. And let me now have a look at the Standard just briefly. And I see the top story here is the big con. And of course, the face of Eliud Lagat is making the headlines today on the Standard. Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat lied to the country about his stepping aside to pave way for the investigations into the death of Albert Ojwang at Central Police Station. In a June 16 statement, Lagat announced he had opted to step aside to allow investigations to proceed unhindered. But fresh court filings reveal a different story, that he merely applied for an 18-day annual leave, approved the same day by Police IG Douglas Kanja, who wished him a restful break. In a sworn reply, Lagat now insists he never vacated office nor appointed a replacement, contradicting his own public statement. The open lie has reignited questions about his integrity, transparency, and truthfulness as a civil servant. I see Douglas Kanja, Inspector General, here saying, Following your application for annual leave, I am writing to confirm the approval of granted 18 days leave for the financial year 2024-2025 effective from June 17th, 2025. During your absence, your duties will be performed by your principal assistant. We wish you a restful leave.
Wow.
So this was not stepping aside.
Yeah, as the statement indicated.
As the statement indicated.
So a whole nation was duped into believing that he had stepped down.
To imagine.
Yeah, but the agreement, I believe it was an internal arrangement.
An internal arrangement.
Yeah, you just say this in public, but in private, this is what is happening.
You're going on leave.
Then the silence will have subsided. And then after everything has gone,
you'll come back.
He'll come back.
After your restful leave.
And the gentleman is dead and buried.
Wow. And we move on as though nothing happened.
As if nothing happened.
He's a just God. And for me, I believe
that's all I can say.
That everything hidden shall be exposed.
Definitely.
It shall be exposed. Yeah. So we can leave it to God and be confident that he will come through. I see also the Standard covering Murkomen Defense DCI launches revamped call center. And that's covered also on the Standard. I also see Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi has sued the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, citing abuse of its investigation powers. So that is happening. I also see on the education sector here, heads of secondary schools in Nakuru County have warned of a looming crisis in the education sector come January when students transition from junior to senior secondary school, that is grade 10. According to the principals, little has been done to accommodate the thousands of students joining public secondary schools. So I think this is a story of another system that seems to be doing well, but then there are still things that are not doing well. Especially now with the transition. But we really hope that all will be well and fixed by the time the students have to get back to school. I see the mystery surrounding the death of Susan Joki Kamengere, a 48-year-old medic and a mother of 3, deepened Tuesday after a post-mortem confirmed she died as a result of manual strangulation. This is, a story covered on the Standard, quite sad, and family is demanding for justice after the autopsy was done. And looking at the Enterprise pullout this morning, new fintech in Kenya, here is where to invest. So quite interesting, pages 4 all the way to 5. That is being reported on the Enterprise pullout of the Standard. And more stories on the Enterprise. Have idle cash, get it, a side hustle. This is covered on page 6. I think even as we have been doing interviews regarding money matters and financial fitness, I think today's Enterprise will really help many people, especially those who have idle cash. You have to get it a side hustle, because I remember the one we interviewed here telling us that if at all you have idle cash lying around, utatafutiwa kazi yake.
Kweli. Tutakuja, nisaidie na 2K.
Urgently.
Yeah, urgently. And because uko nayo,
you are just giving.
But if you had that cash and you directed it somewhere, it was idle, but then again you decided, let me invest it somewhere. So even if GG comes and he's like, hey, nisaidie na 2K. I wish unamwambia tu, I wish ulikuja Sunday. Nilikuwa nayo but nilisukuma. Nilifanya kitu ingine nayo. Na unaona, you are not lying.
It's true.
It's true. On Sunday I had it, but Monday nikaisukuma money market. Nikanunua 2 stocks hapa, nikanunua 2 shares hapa. You see?
So idle cash is not good.
It's not. Business Daily, auditor questions CBK secret 14.5 billion shillings notes printing deal. Public Procurement Authority unaware of tendering. Germany's company replaced UK's Delarue. So that's a story that is there. Kenya depletes fuel subsidy fund amid surge in pump prices. And so the state has depleted the subsidy fund used to stabilize retail fuel prices, exposing consumers to volatile global shifts that have seen the cost of diesel and petrol jump by at least 8 shillings and 50 cents a litre. So that is what you can read on the front page. And annual roads spend rises for the first time since Ruto took office. And then KCB pays 829 billion shillings letters of credit in fuel import deal. And a quote here, MSMEs should be the focus of our industrialization efforts. They are the most prevalent form of enterprise. That's the story on business. That's the quote by Nderito Mureithi, the chair of the KRA board, on the front page of the Business Daily.
Beautiful. I think we've gotten what we needed for the Daily Nation, the Standard, and also the Business Daily, just giving you highlights. But you can also tune in to Hope FM at the top of every hour. We have news updates, and right here on Hope TV as well, we are delighted to also bring you news at 7 and also at 9. Thank you to our viewers, those who are watching, my husband and my son. Thank you, Wamelia. Thank you for watching. You're always, our support system, and we thank you so very much for always tuning in. So let's take a short break, even as we look at the video of the day. We'll come back and talk about it.